we better get started.
Sure.
I guess we're recording this webinar, so if you're watching this on our website, it's because we recorded this on February the 9th, and we've posted on our website so that everyone can log on and watch this webinar anytime they want to kind of refresh themselves on the program guidelines, how to go through the application, and so on. So I guess with that said, I'll get started.
Good stuff.
So welcome everybody to the webinar. My name is Ian Murphy. I'm the account manager for Atlantic Canada here working out of our Dartmouth office. Joined on the line by Christy Kendrick. Christy, why don't you say a few things
Sure,
about
Christy
yourself?
Kendrick here, and I'm involved in the training end of things and subscription here at Javelin at the head office in Oakville. Ian and I are both going to be on this, and at the end of it, we'll have our contact numbers and our emails if you should have any questions. Plus, we'll open it up if there's any questions at the end.
Perfect. All right. Well, with that said, let's get started. So we're here to talk about the Workplace Innovation and Productivity Skills Incentive. For short, we're calling it WIPSI. It is a program that's put on by the province of Nova Scotia as part of their Jobs Here Economic Growth Plan. Quick agenda for today's presentation. We're going to quickly walk through the program overview, the details of the program, who's eligible, what training costs are eligible for your application. Then we're going to walk through the entire application. It's very, very simple and straightforward. There's really 5 simple steps that we'll break down for you, how to fill out the form and get your application submitted in order to get some of this great training money. At the end, we'll summarize everything. We'll give you a few tips and takeaways, and then we'll open it up to questions. Program overview. WIPSI funding incentive, the WIPSI program, is designed to encourage local businesses here in Nova Scotia to invest in their employees, specifically in their skills, to make them more productive, to introduce new technology or processes, and also just to enhance overall competitiveness within their given market segment. So there's a few parameters for this program. There are 2 different types of businesses that can apply, small businesses and medium to large businesses. So small businesses is defined by the amount of employees that you have, less than 50 employees, so I guess 49 and less will qualify as a small business. These businesses are eligible to get 100% of funding covered for costs between $5,000, that's the minimum, and $10,000. Once you get above that $10,000 threshold, there is some cost sharing that's to be determined on a case-by-case basis. I've seen that on the website, about 50% of costs above 10 grand will be covered. But in some cases, if the business case is there, I've been told that it could be more. So feel free when you're applying for this program. Don't feel like you're limited by that 10K number. If you want to apply for more, they're going to look at every application uniquely. The second segment is larger businesses, so 50 employees and up. Now these businesses still have that same minimum of $5,000 that they can apply for and up. However, there's no cap, so there's no $10,000 threshold. Every single dollar that you submit for, 50% of the funding will be covered by the government. The remainder must be covered by your business.
One thing you might want to just keep in mind too, everyone, is that they're wanting to encourage this, and they really want to support you as a business. And so they're, like Ian says, it's a case-by-case situation. So they're not rigid in their rulings, and they really do want their program to be successful. And Javelin knows about the government funding that was so successful in Ontario, and so we've worked along together with the governments before, and they really do want their programs to make a difference. So like Ian says, and we're both encouraging you to really take advantage of this program.
Well said. And I guess beyond either the 50% sharing in the costs, the only thing the government is asking for is your contribution, which is your employees' time. So giving them the time off work and not penalizing them for it. So there are certain guidelines for what training is covered. So any training for your company that will improve productivity is covered. Anything that will increase innovation and long-term competitiveness. Training that will support the introduction of new technologies, machinery, equipment, or new work processes. Training that provides employees with transferable skills. Upgrading existing skills to enhance international competitiveness. I know it's a little bit overlap there, but it's all about making Nova Scotia companies more competitive within their industries. And finally, foster workplace diversity. So when you look at Javelin's training offerings on our website, all of our products will really fall under 6 out of 7 of these guidelines. Whether it's SolidWorks training, whether it's simulation training, or a particular type of advanced simulation training, we feel all of our training offerings both make companies more competitive, provide transferable skills, improve innovation and long-term competitiveness, and really all of our courses are designed to make our users, our customers, our end users of the products more productive in their day-to-day jobs. So
I was just going to jump in there, Ian, as you were saying, as far as skills and transferability, you may have in your company somebody that's in a different department. Maybe they're on the shop floor, maybe they're in the, they're working on a different machinery, but they're certainly wanting to get more knowledge on SolidWorks. So this is a really perfect opportunity. You might not have had the budget before to train this person, but now you do, and that will just broaden their knowledge. And the other thing that happens too with this government grant is that you now may have an opportunity where you might have a project that's been sitting on the shelf that you haven't had the funding to go ahead and train everybody for, like Ian says, in the simulation end of things. Maybe the project needs to have analysis, and you need to be able to have their skills. This is, again, a really perfect opportunity to look at new projects that you've got in your forecast and be able to actually make them happen.
Well said, Christy. Well said, definitely. Moving on, I want to keep this going. There's a few bits of criteria that every eligible applicant needs to meet. First and foremost, this is a Nova Scotia government-funded program, so the company must be located in Nova Scotia. Also, in most cases, the employees have to be located in Nova Scotia as well. However, there is a bit of gray area here. If someone lives just across the border or just in a neighboring province, but actually works in Nova Scotia and therefore is benefiting or contributing to the Nova Scotia economy, they are covered. The business needs to be in existence for 1 or more years. Any industry is eligible except for wholesale, retail, accommodations, and food services. So if you're in the tourism industry, you're not really covered. But if you're in manufacturing, if you're using SolidWorks, basically, you're covered. Employees taking the training must be permanently located in Nova Scotia. I mentioned that. Again, there is some gray area here. As long as they work in Nova Scotia, you're okay. And the other criteria is you must have not received other government funding for training through this incentive. So at this point, they're saying you apply once a year. However, in our experience, we've noticed that if there's money left over in the last, say, 3 months of the year in this program, then you may be able to apply again. We're not saying that's for sure. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. The way this program works is there is a pool of money that is budgeted. For the WIPSI program, it's $10 million. So if, say, in November, October, they've only spent 6 out of the $10 million, that's $4 million that they're mandated to spend, so they may allow people to apply again. So get your applications in early. Eligible training costs for WIPSI. So it's really actually a great program. They're actually going to cover a lot of things. Not only the costs to attend a course, say like a Javelin SolidWorks Essentials course, getting there, they're going to cover everything. So it'll cover the purchase of the training from a formal training institution, so Javelin, or qualified external or internal training provider. Registration, tuition, and course fees. So just a note, all of our course pricing that you'll see either on a quotation or on our website or on our web store, that's going to include the tuition, the materials, the books, everything, the laptop that you're going to use at that course. All of that's going to be included. Above and beyond that, I guess when it comes to maybe some other training you're looking at, they'll cover international training, management skills development and training leading to some type of certification. Just another point, when you take a Javelin course, you do leave with a certificate, so you do have some certification as well. Training that supports workplace diversity. Unfortunately, Javelin can't help you out with that. Christy, I don't think we've got a workplace diversity course. Again, all of our training is designed towards making you more productive in our products and our software.
Right.
I guess finally, other skills development and training based on a valid business case. So again, I think this just speaks to how the guidelines are not as rigid as you might think. As long as you can create a good business case and justify it to them, they're going to look at every application as a unique application, and they're not going to let a particular guideline really dictate whether someone is eligible or not. Anything else to add here, Christy?
No, I think this is good. I think we're covering off all the points that everyone needs to hear so far.
Perfect. Okay, so non-eligible training costs from WIPSI. Any training that's mandatory in your industry or in your business is not going to be covered. So, for example, occupational health and safety training for a new employee, that's not going to be covered. Corporate or organizational orientation training can't be covered. Any informal training where there's no actual certification or diploma or anything involved, like employee mentoring, is not going to be covered. Training already included in the purchase of maybe new equipment or new business processes can't be covered as well. One more thing on that is you need to apply for the training and then get your funding and then purchase the training. You can't use this program to offset the cost of training you may have already purchased in the past, or in the past several weeks or months or years. It's only for applications are only for new training, new future training. Last couple, it will not cover apprenticeship training or the employee wages or salaries during training. That is your contribution. You can apply to have those reimbursed. And an example of something that Javelin offers that is training related that will not be covered, a web course. The reason that our web courses are not covered is that there's no certificate at the end. There's no really way for us to know whether you're watching, whether you're actually paying attention, whether you're really there, other than if you logged in or not. And the other product that's a good example is Solid Professor. While Solid Professor is a great product, I encourage everyone to look at it because it's a video-based learning tool. Again, there's no start and end date to it. It's just a tool that you can use going forward. There's no really way to gauge how much you're learning. So unfortunately, Solid Professor is an example of something that is not covered from us. Okay, so that's the guidelines. It's pretty simple. If you work in Nova Scotia, if your company's set up in Nova Scotia, you've been in business a year, and as long as you're not in like the tourism industry, you can apply for this training and get some funding. So the application program process in 5 simple steps. So the first step that we're going to walk you through is you need to review the program guidelines. So all of that information is available on the website. We've got hyperlinks here as well. This PowerPoint presentation will be emailed out to everyone who attends the webinar, and we'll have it available on our website as well. So you can click on the PowerPoint, come to this page here, and click on these hyperlinks to get the program guidelines. Or just go into Google and type in Workplace Innovation and Productivity Skills Incentive, and it'll come up on the top of the results. 2, after you've reviewed the program guidelines, you're going to want to identify your SOLIDWORKS training needs. So we've listed SOLIDWORKS training needs here, but it could be simulation training needs, whatever. Go to our website, look at our training matrix, our industry matrix, and identify what courses are the best fit for your industry and for what you're doing. So that's all available on our website, and again, there's a hyperlink here as well. If you have some trouble finding the industry matrix on our website, you give me or Christy a call, shoot us an email. We'll be happy to direct you to that area of our website. The third step, it's an important one, request a quote from Javelin. So Christy's been doing a great job getting quotes out to our customers. We've already heard that many customers have already applied for this program. We've heard that their applications are going to get reviewed and probably approved by the end of the month. So the sooner you request a quote from us, the sooner you can get your application off. 4, download and complete the application form. Now we're going to walk through the application form in a moment. It's quite straightforward. There's a few tips that we have for you. And then the final step, submit the completed form to the Economic and Rural Development Department. You just email that completed application off to them. I believe you could probably fax it to them or drop it off in person if you wanted to. But the easiest way and the fastest way is to email it to this address, pip@government.gov.ns.ca.
And what happens after that's sent in is that they will acknowledge you and send you out a reply to say that they've got your form and your application in hand. So it's kind of nice to know that they're being very responsive on this, which I think is very great. It's great.
Perfect. Thanks, Christy. Okay, the application form. There's two main sections that we're going to highlight here today. The first section is the business information. So that's something that you'll give off to like a controller. If you are the owner of your company, you can probably fill that out. But it's probably someone who's like a controller, a CEO, an owner that can fill out. So it has things like, your tax numbers, your business registration numbers, those types of things that, the average person, the average employee might not be able to get on their own. And then there's the second section is the attachment section. So this is where you're going to include a description of the training outcomes, so why you're taking the training, what you expect to learn and gain, and at the end of the training, what will be the eventual outcome. You're going to include a training plan. Now, again, all of this information you can really copy and paste right out of our website. Christy and I are happy to walk through this section of the application with you to make sure that you've got the right stuff on there. The third part of the attachment section is the actual funding request. So this is where you total up all of the training courses, the amount of employees. You total that all up, and it makes up your funding request. There is a section where you need to include a recent income tax return for your company and a financial statement. Again, those areas are going to be something that you want a president, a CFO, a controller to take care of for you. So attachment A, the first attachment, the training outcome. This is where it's just a series of boxes that you're going to tick. And actually, we've highlighted in blue all of the boxes that apply to our training. So we believe all of our training courses, whether it's SOLIDWORKS training, simulation training, all meet, I guess, what is it? I think we're looking at 8 out of these 9 criteria. So you can tick all of these boxes. Maybe don't tick them all. Maybe just tick the most relevant ones to you, but they're all eligible. Attachment B, the training plan. So first, on this attachment, you're going to list the name of the training to be provided, the type of training. So this could be 3D CAD training for SOLIDWORKS, could be simulation training, finite element analysis training. It could be training on our E3 WireWorks product, if that's something you're using. It could be training on Enterprise PDM, some of our implementation services. Those can be covered as well. And even design automation training or product documentation training with 3D Composer. If these are products that you own currently or you're interested in, WIPSI is a great way to cover the training component of that.
It's really kind of like a wish list. And you just write down the names of your users, your designers, and you write down the projected courses that they want to take, and then there you go.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier. One of the criteria is training will be covered if you're trying to take on a new piece of technology that's going to make you more productive, more competitive. So if you have been looking on our website, talking with myself or maybe another member of Javelin about taking on a new product like 3D Via, like simulation, like enterprise product data management, WIPSI is a great way to cover the services or the training for that. Also, you're going to need to include the description of the courses to be taken. So this one's easy. Just go to our website. You can find all the details for the training courses. Copy and paste those right into your application. And also, this information will be provided on your quote as well. So there's a couple of places where you can find that info. Then you're going to want to list how many employees will be receiving the training. So you need to specify whether they are full-time employee, a part-time employee, and then break down which courses each will take. And we recommend it to do like some type of Excel table where you can list the employees in the columns along the left, the courses along the top, and put an X mark whether they're attending the training or not, and then total that up, just so it's very clear for the WIPSI for the WIPSI committee to approve and understand. The second attachment, attachment B, is your training plan. So you need to specify the positions or the job titles, departments of the employees receiving the training, and then include the name of the training provider. So in the case of Javelin, again, all that info is on our website. We've got a sample description right here of our qualifications. We're a leading provider of 3D manufacturing software and training. We've been in business over 13 years. We've trained over 2,500 students. We've got lots of credentials, and all that info is available on our website. I want to keep moving. Anticipated start date and duration of the training. So all the dates need to be included on your application, and we've done a great job. Our training coordinator has done a great job of putting all the courses that you might be interested in on our training schedule. We've got dates scheduled for the spring, so you have lots of time to get them on your application, get your application submitted, approved, and then taking the training in the spring. Some of these dates are going to be tentative. The reason we've assigned so many, that we've been assigning these dates, is that the application requires to include a date. So if you see a date up there and you know for a fact it doesn't work for you, let us know. We can either move the date or just include it on your application, and we'll find a way to make a date work for you in the future. The key here is just put that date down on the application, and we'll find a way to make it work.
Yeah, the key is, like you say, Ian, to getting the application in, and then we'll work out the dates with you afterwards to fit into your schedule. So don't be concerned about that part.
Okay. Also on this attachment, the cost of the training. So specify the total cost and the cost per employee. You're going to get that information off of the quotation provided by either myself or Christy. And then other training-related costs. So equipment rental, not really applicable here because, as I mentioned before, all of the laptop costs for your training courses through Javelin are going to be included in that price per student. Manuals, books, and support materials, again, also included in that cost. What you are going to want to list is your travel expenses, if there are any. So if you're located here in the HRMs, your travel expenses will be probably pretty minimal. But if you're maybe taking a course in our Oakville office because just the date works, or you want to go to Oakville, or you need to go there for another reason, this is a particular type of expense you could include in your application. If you're driving in from New Brunswick, from Prince Edward Island, or you're taking a flight over from Newfoundland, again, these are the travel expenses you can apply for. Also on attachment B, you need to describe how the training relates to particular outcomes. We've included some examples here. Again, this is something that Christy and myself can help you with. So here are some examples on how our training relates to particular outcomes. So let's say you're looking to improve your product design skills, your SolidWorks design skills. Well, that's going to make you more competitive because you're going to be able to develop your products faster, which will eventually reduce your costs and actually help you design more products. So that's one example. Another example would be just reducing your overall design costs. Time equals money. If you can design products in less time, you can save money. If we're talking about simulation training, maybe you're looking to reduce your scrap costs because you want to reduce the amount of prototypes, or you want to use a more lighter, more affordable material. By validating those products, those designs in simulation, you can experience those outcomes. So again, this is something we're happy to help you with. Go to our website, look at the course descriptions. There's also some great case studies on our website of customers who have taken training. But again, we can help you with this. We can help you write this particular portion of attachment B.
And also, just on that point, on all of our training courses, on the description, there is an outcome based on what you cover. There's a small description of the outcome, so at the very least, you can use those words as well. And again, like Ian says, just cut and paste.
Thanks, Christy. Perfect. All right, keep moving. Also on this attachment, you need to describe how the business expects the training to be successful and what will be monitored to assess the training success. So we've got an example here. After attending advanced assembly modeling, we observed a productivity improvement of 10% on most projects. So For example, in an assembly modeling course, we would be teaching you best practices on how to best design your products, your designs, so that if you need to make changes, they will update accordingly and save you time when it comes to making changes. A second example, as a result of taking the sheet metal course, we have improved the quality of our drawings and reduced waste by 25%. Again, these are something we can help you with. These are the examples that we're just providing. However, everyone's going to be unique. So these are things that you're expected to gain, expected to see after taking the training. So again, ask us if you have any questions, if you need some help in this section. There's two examples to kind of inspire you. Attachment C, your funding request. This is where you need to identify all of the training costs that you'll be applying for. So the first box is the training purchase cost. You pull that right off of the Javelin quotation provided by myself or Christy. The second box is your in-kind, in-cash contribution. So it's your employees, their daily costs. So I guess their salary divided by however many working days per year, and that's their daily cost. Number of days they're in training. Our courses range from a half a day to 4 to 5 days. So the amount of days they're going to be taking training, and then the number of employees. So all of those numbers multiply together and give you your employer contribution. Other related costs, the travel time, maybe again, I mentioned the equipment and manuals are not really applicable. The only way that the equipment would be maybe applicable is if you're having Javelin come into an on-site course where we need to ship all of the laptops and all the materials to you. There is a cost that you can include here as well, and again, that'll be included on the quotation for you. So if that is the case, you'll be able to have that. Final box, total funding request. So you add all those items up, and that is your total cost. Quick tip, use a spreadsheet to calculate and keep you organized. I'm sure I'm sure that's kind of a given, but just a quick tip for you, use a spreadsheet, make sure all your math is right, and make sure it's laid out really clearly so that your application gets approved smoothly. So that's it. In summary, it's a fantastic program for Nova Scotia. We're really excited. We encourage you to act as quick as you can, get those applications filled out, give Christy a call, give myself a call. We're happy to help you fill out parts of the application, get you quotations, answer questions about the program guidelines, whatever you need. We understand it's a little bit of work and that you have your own responsibilities. However, we think this program could go a long way to improving your competitiveness, improving your SolidWorks or simulation skills, and really just helping you in your day-to-day work. For more information, we have a particular landing page that we've set up. It's just our website /WIPSI. On that website, you'll be able to find, I believe, this webinar posted. On that website, you'll be able to find all of the I guess links to all of the application forms, the program guidelines, and you'll also be able to request a quote from Christy through this landing page as well.